Hi, and welcome to Maths, the Illuminati Party, Volume 2. We, enter in on this little dingy comic shop. A girl with bag under her eyes. The very next day of her dear summer. She comes in, there's a new issue of, your guys' not yet to be trademarked team name. Oh wait, no, the Calamity. That's
The
right.
color,
The
the color.
Calamity. She picks
Yeah.
up an issue, the latest issue of the Calamity. On it is a park, like kind of like out of New York, with just chess tables on it, and in the background there's explosions. We see
Yay.
verification kind of like shooting away from the explosions, and chains wrapping around Joey. So we open two. The next day, this is June 7th, day one of recovery.
Whew.
Who wants to start off? Not Sprawl.
Uh, I can start.
Cool. We open up with Bastion. Are you in your Are you with in your normal kind of like living situation? Or are you in the hidden base?
I'm in hidden base. It's also kind of where I live, so I guess a little bit of both. The only difference is that usually there was like maybe like a normal like one light going on in the room, but like now there's tons of lights, and you can tell that he didn't sleep the night before. There's like bags under his eyes. He's shaking, and he kind of takes a deep breath in and out, and he's like, "Okay, gotta look normal," and splashes water on his face and tries to get himself ready for what's gonna be a hard day.
You hear a door open.
He turns to whoever opened his door.
Um, in you see Shroudhound, and he's in his normal suit. He You can see like he has something in his coat. The mask is on his hip. He says briefing in 5 minutes.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Briefing in 0 then.
Hit me.
All right, and he kind of leads you to like this kind of like view screen, right? Almost like a digital version, like a hologram version of like what you see in those classic football films. And he goes, "All right, kid. After your latest exam, let me tell you the case that's being built up. It's rocky. It's very rocky. Phoenician's not going to jail. We broke a deal with him. He's gonna go quietly back to his normal life. He gets his hands back perfectly in one piece. Second thing, he has given us a list of criminals that you're not going after. Agency Review Board is going through the motion of mission details and notes that you've submitted. And until then, to sit tight and don't get blinded by the light. Oh, and I don't want to tell. I don't want this to be rough, but Bastion,
Yeah.
I told you so.
He looks like very sad, and he nods. He's like, It hurts being wrong."
It's about how you get up that matters. But don't Measure twice, caught once.
He nods. I'll be more careful from now on.
I've been reviewing it personally. You might want to pick up with verification after, he gets through his process, which might take a day or two.
Yeah, it's not great with verification.
And who wants to be up next?
I mean, I think it makes sense of verification.
All right, so verification. We see you. You're standing up in front of your superior. I mean, you're not standing up in front of your superior officer. You're in a different office space.
Right.
You're in front of the tentacle alien I outlined for you.
Yes.
The elder of the mission.
Yep.
He's looking at you sagely, and
Say again. You broke up.
he's looking at you sagely.
Mm.
The Kafal. You can just see him. You have a gas mask on because he too has a different kind of air he breathes in. Those of your people. Yep. You're in. What are you wearing?
I think we may actually be in different rooms. Actually, because verification is still recovering from the oxygen burns from last time, from where we left off. So he's actually in sort of like a.
Okay, so you're in like a med bay.
Yeah, so basically, the collective will airlifted out a
kind of like a medical pod.
I mean, like, yeah, survival pod while the ship is still getting repaired because it was
totaled.
Also not totaled.
It was rough.
Yeah, it was rough. So there's that, and so he's there. So verification is basically covered in like
wraps.
Yeah,
wraps and
like
gel.
Space bandages and like space burn cream. And video conferencing with this tentacle guy. Does he have a name yet?
The Kafal?
The Kafal, okay. Also, are you getting an echo? Is that just me?
I'm getting an echo. I'm getting a bit of an echo.
Okay. Sir, what transpired was our imminent attack. We were under immediate threat, and it was necessary to retaliate. I initiated a preemptive strike, using standard riot munitions, and proceeded with the intent to disarm or safe all targets. Unfortunately, I was required to use the plasma lances in a non-lethal capacity.
He nods and goes, there's nothing to me, right?
Yes, sir.
I'm retired here on the planet. To be honest, it's a mess. It was it wasn't the tidiest bit. Your ship is still getting repaired. The officer is contacting off-planet committees to see what we should do about your suit, and if you should get a new one.
With respect, sir, I would be unable to carry out my mission without at least an encounter suit.
Well, not the latest encounter suit. Some think a good punishment is handing you one of the older models. Humbling you.
Yes, sir. I understand.
But I've been reading. It was good reaction. We've been assimilating your experience into the newest tactical matrix. It's very rough action that the strategy and operations will have to go over and refine. But I didn't want to talk to you about the report. Son,
Say again?
I didn't want to talk to you about the report, son. And you, it's a bit disconcerting, except for the fact that the Kafal see everyone as like their children. They're one of the
Yeah.
elder alien races. Like they're up there with like the Felanora for how long they've been around.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, your teammates. What do you make of them?
Sprawl is an effective combatant, highly flexible, and I believe is a powerful ally. Bastion as well is an effective leader, although he needs to learn he needs to learn not to land on fragmentation ordnance. Night Prowler, I don't know. His powers are volatile, but I believe that they can be harnessed for the collective will. I just don't know how to do it.
Sometimes some things are out of our reach. You remember, what was it before your time? Tintor 97 is what we labeled it.
I'm aware, sir.
Purgatory was the soldier given name. It was the first time the collective will had the breach a tactive solution to what humans like to refer to as magic.
It was, I recall, although I seem to recall that it was also the cause for many glorious merits given out.
On top of piles of bodies, yes.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to speak to the commission on your behalf that this was a freak incident against a foe that perhaps you may have not been so cavalier against. Escape, while not ugly or while ugly and may not be glorious, is always an option. Your ship will be repaired in about 3 days. The decision about your next encounter suit will be in 2 days.
Sir, we could have. We had no way of knowing what would have happened to us.
You only get to go forward.
Yes, sir. We had our target right in our sights.
You don't. You only get to go forward. What happens to the target is up to earthly concerns.
We know that he is guilty. We know he colluded with the enemies of both Earth and other and the enemies of the entire universe.
Son, take a rest.
Sir.
You barely got out of there with half of your skin not with second-degree burns. Some spots are furred on your head. Just be grateful that your face is still beautiful.
Was it ever?
That's only a charm a crush mother could tell. And with that, he's just like, rest up. You'll get briefed with the agency when everything is decided and settled. Until then, enjoy the silence. And it's kind of sarcastic where he says that.
All of a sudden, Deep Edge mode starts playing.
Say again?
He's kind of sarcastic when he says enjoy the silence. Like he knows like inaction is gonna tear at you until you finally get to grips with the situation.
Oh yeah.
Kel.
Yeah.
It's June 9th. Your parents were gone by the time you got back. You sat in a house for a day.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wait, not June 9th, June 8th.
Okay.
You spent June 7th worrying what was going to come through the door. You made yourself some food. You did everything you could to relax. Do you ever take a look at your father's study?
Sometimes when I'm feeling brave enough to do so. But since our last joyride with a magical item, I refrain from doing that.
Have you been trying to... What has Joey been doing besides whittling away time? And
I think he tried to reach Bastion, but he doesn't answer. And yeah, he doesn't really know what to do with himself right now. He has to wait for his parents.
Alright. It's June 8th. You hear footsteps at the apartment door. It's the same gloom as always. Your parents come in. Your father first, your mother second. They fix you with hard glares. Madam Nix's face, her face is implacable as always. Kind of like stone. Beautiful Gothic stone. Your father is insensate. He's doing everything he can not to just bark at you. There's some tendrils coming from the collar of his shirt in its shadows.
Yeah, okay. I think Joey probably can like barely manage to like look at them. Just stands there with his eyes like focused on the ground.
Your mother sets down takedown in the kitchen table and says, "Family meeting."
Yeah, I wordlessly sit on the table, still not daring to look at them.
Your father growls. Look me in the eye, damn it.
Yeah, I do very timidly.
That was a shit show.
I know.
What happened?
I tried to use my powers again, but this time they went out of control and something else was there. Something
Your
else
mother.
controlled my powers.
Your mother chuckles and she says, "An imp."
Yeah, that little bastard you told me about. Didn't know that was real.
We don't tell stories. You know we deal with the supernatural. Hell, we are the supernatural.
Felt so wrong and lost control over my body, you damn it. I attacked my friends.
Yeah, you were lucky that the organization responded so quickly. Hell, even with a greater amount of force than deemed necessary is overkill.
How can I be a hero with that thing looming over me?
For one thing, your mother says, you don't go full into the water. You know, when you try to swim and you kind of like, when you try to learn how to swim and you kind of go gradually in.
But we had to fight this insane superhero. He teamed up with the
You could have ran.
government. And leave my friends behind?
They could have ran.
Maybe. Then he would have got away. The lava man wouldn't still be stopped.
Man, the lava men are always going to be a problem. And your mother kind of like opens like, she kind of rolls up her sleeve and there's 20 different clocks. When she kind of like looks at like the one that's closest to her elbow, but she's like, no, not that one. And then like the second closest one, yes, 20 billion years.
What the?
20 billion years? Is that? I might have to rework it. Anyway, despite planetary annihilation, you're going to need to use measured control. The fact that you got the suit on is enough. It allows you to have enhanced abilities and to grasp things that people normally don't grab.
You don't have to explain that to me, Mom. But maybe you should have explained me that this is like borrowed by some crazy
A
insane
Faustian
imp trying
promise?
to. What?
A Faustian promise.
Yeah, but I never signed that. Dad did. And then I got it. How's that fair?
It's not. With great power comes great struggle.
Yeah, but Spider-Man never was controlled by something else. Well,
Uh,
Venom, yeah,
I wouldn't say that there was lots of times Spider-Man got controlled by another hero, but honey, that's not the bigger problem.
but
The bigger problem is you gotta be wary of your boundaries. How much you can do.
Yeah, you kind of look at my father. Is that why you never like teamed up with other superheroes? Because you were scared that could
I'm a
happen to you too?
sociopath.
Stop it, Dad. Maybe you were just afraid as me that imp takes over. Is it?
Boy's got a tongue on him, doesn't he? Your mother says to your dad, and he just grunts, and he goes, "Listen, there's not a lot of people who stomach what my job was. Not a lot. Not a lot of people wanted to deal with me. I was the hardline answer to the problem that went into your head and took over. Kid, if you want to get far, if you want to be like other heroes or whatever the hell, you're gonna have to be way more careful than I was."
All right.
When I got into a shitty situation like yours, which I did very often, met your mother and a shady ass part of Iraq in it. Let's just say the building came down. And I woke up in a gray field.
All right. I get it. I get it. We'll hold back.
The imp's dangerous, son. But he's not unbeatable. You just gotta learn how to, I don't know, mentally play chess with him or some shit.
Okay. Fine, I guess.
And I don't mean that literally. Your mother's good graces with him has worn thin, so he might become a little bit more active. Fight
Okay.
back. And if a situation looks like it's gonna go over your head, like it did with one of the, and if not the greatest Golden Age heroes, you can definitely take a step back to let adults do the job.
Yeah, I kind of nod, but
Yo,
very,
Get
very defined.
your spot in the sunlight. Until then, you're grounded.
I
No power. Piano every day.
can we hold up the grounding? I have to go to Sam. He
Nope.
still didn't answer me. But he's my friend. I attacked him. I at least have to apologize.
Until the agency gives lifts, like after the questioning and, you know, internal affairs go through the mission, which it should pretty soon, and there was nothing wrong until that point, you should be cleared. Until then, you're grounded.
Fine, man. This
You can
sucks.
send text messages to all your
He
little
doesn't
friends.
answer it.
Maybe he'll answer soon. I don't know.
Fine. This sucks still. And I kind of like stand up. Also, I told you I don't want tacos, and I kind of walk up to my room.
And with that, your parents just sit at the table, and it's June 9th. We see the Illuminati's basement, or one of them.
Well, there are many basements.
On the wall is a sign labeled "Research."
Was that research and development?
Yes.
Okay.
In one of their rooms behind bulletproof glass and kind of like sealed off to the actual lab area, there's multiple scientist kind of guys looking at filaments and whatever and metals and testing out new kinds of like laser guns and nets and whatever. We see this humongous cyclops I was just staring through the glass, and inside is this this gigantic, like, Technoborg egg.
Oh dear.
It lights up green. It kind of changes shape every now and then. And one of his assistants comes up to him and is like, "Sir, maybe you should take a break." And he kind of looks down and he says, "Johnson ain't taking a break. Internal Affairs is going through those poor boys' jobs, so why should I be the one that gets lucky?" It's like, sir, that we barely recovered the egg. We literally had to scrape it off with like a sonic spatula. Where did you even get the idea for that? And it's just like, hush now. And it kind of like, the egg kind of rumbles and there's a crack. And there's more cracks through it, and like the outer shell of the egg just starts to crumble in these like little like pico bits, like humongous like Lego bricks almost, made of machines. And all of this kind of like tumbles out, and weirdly enough, there's this amniotic fluid that pours out, and slimy, surprisingly clothed, and wild-eyed. What do we see, Sprawl?
Out of the slime, Sprawl's massive height and oddly disjointed frame and horrible proportions steps out, the slime kind of dripping down through the long white hair, going down to mid-back. Unlike his usual attire, Sprawl is wearing a black spaghetti strap top with what look like black yoga pants and a pair of black and white Adidas sneakers. And Sprawl is clearly a woman. And it looks around, eyes just flicking open and closed, and wipes some slime off. And how long was I asleep? Oh, feels like weeks.
We got the right egg, right?
Oh, what? Egg?
There was no other.
Can I get a shower?
And you hear a voice over the intercom of Sprawl, and it's just like, yeah, like, give me a second. And you kind of see outside, and you hear like this humongous cyclops. Like, this place is like 20 feet tall in height, and this humongous cyclops, he's done up in like kind of like basic kind of like clothing. He has a humongous lab coat. He has a name tag that's blank for some reason, and he's just kind of like talking demeaningly, like, what the hell, at the assistant he was with. And Sprawl, you're seeing this and you're like, I've never been here before. And you're feeling all of this technology that's new and varied and around you. And eventually a lab coat in a hazmat suit kind of like gets kicked through the door. With like he's holding a machine to like test for radiation. He just goes, "Ma'am, if I can," and he kind of like shuffles over, and it's just like,
If you
you were a guy, like,
Wait, if you can what?
if I can measure you for radiation.
You just don't touch me.
Okay. And he kind of like puts up to like this kind of like a radio up, says note 566, sassy.
So, where am I?
With the Illuminati. They kind of like,
Great.
the Cyclops puts up a $1 bill.
Great. Can I get a shower?
Yeah, after I measure you.
You're just measuring
And he
radiation,
kinda like,
right? You're not
yeah.
touching me, right?
No.
Thank you.
Yeah, you'll get a chemical shower.
No,
Any yeah, I think the echo's coming from your end, Sprawl.
I tested it out earlier. It's fine. Weird. I had my mic off earlier whenever you're talking about the echo.
Anyway. So yeah, he quickly grazes over you with the wand. Yeah. And he's just like, she's all clear, and you see the Pycotex kind of the Lego bricks that fall out, kind of like just climb up onto you and like just meld in with you again, and like through like your engines and ports and stuff, and obviously attaching the rods again. Note 567, subject appears totally female.
Yeah, of course. Jeez.
You weren't always female.
Okay. Okay, and I'm the one in the lab being examined.
You were what?
No, I said yeah, and I'm the one in the lab being examined. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, and he kind of just weeds you out, and like the psychologist just stands there and just like chemical shower, debrief, and then get a room ready. Mr. Johnson's gonna want to talk to her.
So yeah, if they give me a room or whatever, I go and just head that way.
The aide nods, and yeah, they give you like they lead you to like to a side room, and all you see is just like the faucet head and the lever.
Y'all don't have a private room?
Yeah, there was a little airlock with like towels and clothing and stuff. That's kind of like generic and baggy.
Great.
From sizes super small to ginormous.
He's not too worried about, or she's not too worried about the clothes or anything getting wet, just because they're part of her anyway. But so yeah, uses the shower though.
Yep, you pull the lever and you're just like this kind of. It shoots at you. It shoots at you full force, blasting off the amniotic fluid and whatever may have been used, and you kind of like you're by the end of it, you're shivering. You're squeaky clean, but you're shivering. You reach for one of the kind of like just dark Egyptian cotton towels, and it reassures you a little bit. And a couple minutes, you're dry and just standing outside. And you're quickly escorted by 2 armed guards. There seems to be a superhero behind them. You can't recognize him. He doesn't seem to be one of the very popular types. Nah, he's got goggles. Kind of like orange. Like stripes going down the side. Reminds you of like David Bowie. And he escorts you down. You go up the thing a couple of levels, and yeah, you get into you're just in kind of like this police interrogation cell, and in the middle is just on the side is just this kind of like interface with a cup in it. You can order kind of like any kind of drink you want from it, except alcohol.
Okay. She orders a pumpkin spice latte.
It blitzes out that super traditional, super basic. The cup, even like when you turn it around to like drink out of it, there's that great green emblem on it called Galaxy Dollars.
Just take it and just take a little sip and just kind of look around the room and extend
It's
and
bare.
see what tech I can pick up.
You see a camera.
Yeah.
That's it.
Well, with my senses.
No, that's it.
Oh, okay. To shut off from the outside.
Basically. The door opens, and about what you can measure as 5 minutes and half a cup of pumpkin spice latte. Mr. Johnson comes through. Dimitri is at his side. Rise and shine.
Yeah. So why am I in here? When can I go?
After the internal affairs gets through your mission, it was messy. Can't believe what it's like telling people they didn't see a 7-foot man drop the sky and splatter into a million biological and technological pieces.
Who did what now?
You did.
I don't remember that happening.
Well, that's fantastic. Did R&D just give them to me without a blank slate? Dimitri just shrugs. He's like, alright, so what do you remember, Sprawl?
No, it just stopped the Phoenician, all of his lackeys and whatnot, and that's the last thing I remember. Until that guy woke me up trying to measure me.
Yeah, that's just standard protocol for unidentified objects.
Unidentified. Uh-huh.
You try to see what happens when one of our agents cocoons up into like this, but hey, look at that, you're a pretty butterfly, haha. And you don't remember shit. Fantastic. I'm gonna ask you some quick questions, Sprawl. Nothing struck you about the room when you entered to the Phoenician and his goons?
No, not really. Weird old radio that I picked up from the other room, but no. Were y'all able to get the data that I took off his computer? Was that any use?
Ever since the egg, we haven't exactly gotten anything from you.
Oh, well, let me, I'll upload that when you get me to a system, since I can't seem to reach anything in here.
Yeah, that's because we are still trying to feel you out.
Don't touch me.
Yeah, would you like to see what the fuck you did?
Sure.
Cause I think I got 2 notes from R&D about this. Internal affairs is up my ass.
Mm-hmm.
Barking up in my tree.
Okay.
You sure you want to see this, or are you gonna be cooperative with this line of questioning? I'm trying to be polite here.
I was answering your questions. You said you were gonna fill me out. I don't want anybody touching me.
I'm gonna have to let the secretary get to you in a moment. Anyway, she'll probably know what to do.
But yeah, if I can answer your questions, I'm gonna answer it. I thought I was.
Yeah. Well, what do you remember to the investigation about that point, Sprawl?
Well, a bunch of different factions were working together. The Magma Men, the Risen, the Blinko Mob.
Were you always a girl?
Yeah.
Interesting. Dimitri kind of like pulls out a pad and writes it down.
And there was a sharpshooter was involved. Don't know if he knew what he was involved with or if he was just paying back a favor. But it all ended up being the Phoenician. We didn't even know it was him until we got there and he attacked us.
Yep. Well, that worked out when you shattered his hands.
Yeah. He was stopping from doing what he was doing with his whatever his powers were with those weird letters.
Yeah, it's the divine language of authority. But I'm gonna have to level with you here, Sprawl. You, because of the tenuous situation of you literally breaking his hands and him either having to go through $1 billion surgery to get them even close to where they were. We made a deal.
Wait. $1 billion surgery. We're superheroes in this town. You don't have healers?
Not really.
Wow. That's really poor foresight.
No? Do you know what a healing power comes up in a while?
You'd think you'd grab it whenever you found it.
Do you think I found it?
At some point, I would have imagined.
Yeah, and he died.
He could save others from death, but not himself.
Well, shit.
Yeah, well, shit. I had to fucking go through the diplomatic envoy, find an alien, go through the alien, ask him for a favor, got him through the favor, had to go through that, got Phoenician's hands healed for free, didn't give him any, he already had rental insurance. He just said it was a freak accident of a party or something, or like an old nemesis. I don't fucking know what the CNN's putting out right now.
Like, clearly...
He gave us other targets, though, which was kind of him.
Clearly, and I clearly
didn't
don't
see
know
the
what
other.
you know about the situation. I understand that, but why would you give him back his hands when he was organizing villains and attacking heroes and...
Because he's practically a national treasure to several different countries.
Wow. He's a dick.
Yeah, he's a dick. A lot of old people are dicks. Why do you think I fucking curse out my mentor every chance I get?
Wow. So...
Fucking ass pigeon from World War I got hyper intelligence and...
So... if he were to get into some sort of accident that injured his hands again through no fault of anybody, how would that play out?
It'd work out like this. I'd find a ditch and put the person who broke his hands in it.
No, it's an accident, though. Nobody actually broke them themselves.
I'd find the accident, put it in a ditch, and bury it.
That's me laughing, not Sprawl. Fine.
Well, here goes my.
After Dimitri shoots it and
Yeah.
gives it 20 new orifices.
Yeah.
Wow.
Fine.
Fantastic.
So...
You're gonna be
what,
rooming
what,
here
what,
for a
what
little
if,
bit.
I mean, I have all this tech and everything, so, like, if I gave you the surveillance footage of everything I saw and everything he said, he'd still get away with it?
Yeah, because we made a deal for him not to fucking blow the entire casket.
Do you still need that just in case? Because I have everything he said
We
recorded.
don't
'cause
blackmail
I-
people.
I just meant if he broke whatever treaty y'all had.
He won't.
Okay. Just offering.
That's part of his. That's part of his word. Nothing's more to the Phonician than his word.
Just offering. Just in case.
Everything's got to be true. But that's his problem, not mine.
Okay.
My problem is teenage girl, very weird body, with the technical powers of that limits what we currently know on Earth and have developed publicly, and who managed to give anyone they integrated with a searing migraine.
I don't remember that one.
Of course you don't. I'm gonna leave that for you to watch in horror on your own time. Think of what it was like going through ops.
Okay then.
You were lucky Shroudhound got there so quickly. And he leaves like this small tape, like a VHS tape. Dimitri, out of his coat, puts down a small TV with a VHS tape thing. He plugs it into the wall. And we leave you where Phoenician put his security cameras. And that's how Sprawl gets reinformed. But now we are moving on back to verification. The POs are mostly burned. You're put on active duty again. Earth's rotation is pretty sparse. You're given 1 mark earlier of your current encounter suit.
Say again. 1 mark what?
Earlier, like the previous
Yeah.
version of the encounter suit.
Yeah.
Also, when you try tinkering through it, it's any kind of adjustments you try to make are auto integrated. So you have to spend a day kind of like it trying to catch up with how you act, and you can't make any kind of like software changes.
So basically, they gimped it.
They gimped it. They
And
gimped the shit out of it.
And of course, the older model, like the plasma cannons or the plasma lances, are barely functioning. And but
Yep,
at least
you lose flight when you try to open up with a power cannon. The suit has to brace.
Oy.
It's also a bit more blockier. It's not as sleek.
Yay.
But it offers the same protection and enhanced abilities.
I'll take it.
You're going to have to take it. It's either that or a hazmat suit and a rifle.
Oh my gosh, now I'm trying to picture that. Interesting. Are the maneuvering thrusters different?
They're a bit more
I feel like since it's
they're a bit more powerful, funny enough.
Yeah, that's what I
But
was
they're
thinking.
not as
too,
like
actually.
it's kind of the turning radius is a bit wonky.
Huh, yeah. A day of just adjustments.
Yeah. So
Spends the whole day just like walking around in it outside the suit and at least looking up at the sun and saying, well, it's not green, but at least it's sunlight.
the sun gives you a thumbs up.
Verification still isn't sure whether that's normal or not.
You kind of like the suit kind of like wipes off like and dims, and you can just see nothing through the sun. It's just that same ball of gas. Are you going insane? Maybe. And what is Bastion doing?
I think Bastion is looking at his phone, which has been going off like every other hour from Night Prowler, and he's like putting his hand on his phone and picking it up and looking at it and just kind of staring at it. And he's been wondering where in the world what happened to Sprawl. Like, he remembers getting out of the orb and just seeing bits and pieces all over the place. And he's not entirely sure if he can come back from that either. So it's just, he's waiting patiently for the agency to say something.
Yeah, well, speak of the devil. You, out from, you kind of hear just kind of like someone's like trying to slide something over to you. And at your feet is a cassette tape.
pick up the cassette tape.
Verification, you get a call to go to Hangar 4 for briefing and deployment.
Which he immediately, verification is immediately like, oh, excellent, finally, something to do. Maybe I can actually do this.
Sprawl, you're already sitting in front of the office to Mr. J's with the secretary.
Okay.
She's filing her nails.
Okay.
She still has that kind of like bee suit with that kind of like wasp and mask on her face.
Okay.
And Joey, your dad shows up and just says, "Get out there, kid,
Right.
and
Yeah.
stop eating my food."
Whoa! Heck of a dad.
Sure, Dad. And I like put on the suit, like jump out of the window.
Man, those were Snickers were supposed to be hidden.
Yeah, just a little pile of some Snickers wraps.
Little punk. And everyone, you kind of like get to the office. You go through this verkacked entrance. It's teleporters this time. It's not a pleasant experience.
It never is.
Yeah, you wind up just feeling sick, like you just got.
Getting broken down and putting back together is never a fun thing. And
Yeah.
you all land on the couch, and to your guys' various directions is Sprawl.
And clearly female with the long white hair, and glowing green eyes. I forgot that earlier instead of the normal steely ones, but still has the shoulder dynamos and the lightning rods in the back and crackling electricity. Just wearing yoga pants, a spaghetti strap, and is clearly a woman. Hey
Oh.
guys!
Are you Sprawl's sister?
Oh,
No, it's me. Hey.
it's
So
clearly Sprawl. My IFF carries over.
yes. So
Uh,
I haven't seen y'all in so long. How are y'all?
What?
We are doing well. We are
Wait,
surviving.
don't wait. Stop. Don't act like this is. When did you get a? Okay, this is gonna sound. I'm not against your choice to change your sex. Just when? When?
Why does everybody keep saying I changed?
Because you were a guy.
No.
For. Would I lie to you?
I
Do you
wouldn't-
think this is like a big inside joke? Everyone is in on it?
I just thought that you. What? Are
You were
are
definitely male.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure the VHS we gave you also showed you as male, but you know,
I wasn't looking too human through any of that for the most part, really.
Freudian's human repression working its
I mean,
magic.
Yeah, but
I was pretty,
Before
pretty
you-
grotesque in that video. Most of that
before
time.
you took a, before you got your powers, we should change in the same room. Of course, you were a guy. I know.
Verification has downloaded the what's left of the old suit's hard drive and loads up the video, and then just like regular like after action reports that have pictures of Sprawl in them, and opens up a link and says, I have imagery supporting our contention, and would you like to? I can link it to you now."
Yeah.
And the pictures go through.
Well, look, it actually doesn't matter. As long as you're alive, it's fine.
I'm so confused.
She just kind of puts her hand over her mouth, just looking at processing the images. So am I. I guess it's the machines.
Sprawl? What is wrong?
Apparently I was a guy.
I mean, do you feel fine with your new body? Is that okay?
As far as I remember, I've always been like this, at least since I got my powers. But
Well then,
huh?
if you're fine with it, then
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with it.
Now I'm just kind of
Speaking
confused.
of your powers, I guess both to you and Night Prowler. What the hell happened?
Yeah, I saw that video. I don't know. I've never Yeah, I don't remember any of that.
Am I gonna have to worry that at any given time I'm gonna have to fight my best friends? That was awful.
I don't know what happened. I remember crushing that dick's hands, and then I don't remember anything until I woke up in the egg.
I was forced to
I saw the
use.
video. I can't explain it.
He just overdid it.
I know that we have computer experts who might be able to look at you.
Maybe if they're some of your people. I don't necessarily trust all of these people to look at my systems.
I mean, I'm sure that someone knows. The collective will is, you know, well, I mean, this kind of thing. It's funny. Everyone seems to be making a big deal of this. And why? What's the point?
It's because a change like that usually takes a lot of operation and choice.
Well,
That
to be fair, with my powers, I mean, I wouldn't need the operation. I just don't remember choosing.
and that's the thing. You know, usually there's a motive to massive change in identity. And that's why I was very, very confused and still trying to process all this. You woke up from an egg? He just kind of looks like everyone let that sentence pass by like it was normal, but humans don't wake up from eggs.
Well, I haven't really been human for a while now. But yeah, so it was some techno egg thingy, and I covered in this nasty slime, like almost like amniotic fluid. It was gross.
Yeah, sounds pretty icky. Well, I mean, I guess as long as you're all right, that's all that matters. I'm just trying to process. Yeah,
Oh, and I imagine y'all all heard, but the Phoenicians getting away with it.
That bastard.
They even gave him back his hands.
I'm more glad that we didn't get in trouble for that whole
Where
situation.
did I drop off?
Do what?
Oh, did I? Wait, what was the last thing I said? Because my internet just got interrupted.
Just about why it would, this didn't normally happen, I think. Like right before that, questioning why everybody was so bothered or weirded out.
Oh, okay, so you didn't hear that whole thing.
And then something about the collective good, I think, and then maybe stopped.
Okay, yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, like as far as him getting away, I'd rather I'd rather have us get out all right. If that doesn't sound too awful.
No, I get it, and I agree, but I'm just, I don't know, these adults, they're just so trusting. It's weird. Like, this guy tries to organize the entire criminal underworld to do whatever, who knows what, and they're like, oh, we'll take him by his word when he says he won't do it again, and give him back his powers. Jeez, that's
We're
smart.
trusting you, aren't we?
We were fighting the bad guy.
The apartment would like to say otherwise.
They can say otherwise, but there were magma men and risen and mobsters, and they
Maybe
started
they were
it.
after Phoenician.
My video shows
Mobsters.
otherwise. His video shows otherwise.
We have empirical suit recordings that indicate that the Phoenician was not only in neutral to their presence there, but in fact cooperating. Why
Yeah.
then-
Yeah.
Well,
That's all from us.
Well, no,
this is true,
I
but
saw-
doctoring multiple.
Sorry, go ahead.
This is true, but doctoring multiple independent electronic systems from from an alien species and a
Machine colony.
would be beyond certainly any of our capabilities.
His own security system backs up what happened also.
And that's why he's not going to do anything more. Congratulations.
You told me y'all don't blackmail people.
Uh,
So-
Yeah, we don't continually blackmail people. We have blackmailed people.
The verification, you can't see it, but he's sort of doing the whole nodding. I get you.
And Sprawl just
That
rolls her
happens,
eyes.
it all falls through, and no more honey bread. The great hero. Yeah, congratulations. It wasn't a fucking big victory. Mr. Johnson, we'll see you now. Got your next assignment.
Alright, let's do this.
Fine.
I understand now.
So yeah, Sprawl goes in the room.
And verification follows him. Or her. Excuse me.
Yep.
Yep, so you go into the crammed room. There's, once again, Dimitri reading a newspaper behind Mr. Johnson. And he's just kind of like at his desk with those big floppy ears of his. He's kind of like, he's a bit less angry Sprawl than you remember him after he had to go and tell you they don't have satin sheets. And Uggs, but hey, anyway. He kind of like picks you all with a stare and nods. He's like, all right, kids. Internal Affairs got through. The situation's handled. Congratulations on making it through your first assignment alive.
Mr. Johnson, we should apologize for the outcome that occurred.
Don't worry, verbal apology isn't gonna get anywhere kind of payment for what happened. Anyway, I got a perfect job for you. I got a friend in town. I use that term very loosely, very politely, and in every sense of the way. More like an acquaintance. Rode in today at 0900, he likes to say. And he wants a chess game, so I want you there, hiding in the wings, in case anything goes awry. Because it's kind of a half joke, half I kind of want to kill you bit.
Who's this friend not so friend?
Do you want a surprise?
No. He just kind
We
of
are not
looks
appreciative
deadpan.
of surprises.
I've
Alright,
had enough of those
right.
for a lifetime.
And you should retire from superhero rogues then. Anyway, it's Motorward. Motorward's back in town with his gang. He's after something. I'm gonna get coffee, say hi, try to figure out what he wants. It's always that man. Belligerent as a hammer. Anyway, yeah. So he's back in town. He's not. You kind of like have heard Mortarward out of like the whispers of like whenever you've gone into like the office and whatever for more than 5 minutes to meet Mr. Johnson. Like as you go to the hallways to like the next elevator sets or something, there's been hushed whispers about this kind of like splinter biker gang of superheroes and vigilantes. Night Prowler, this is one of your dad's best friends.
Oh no. That doesn't
Yep.
look good.
Yep.
Can I use Ben reading the files to kind of learn a bit more about his status in terms of how he falls with the within the Hero Society?
Oh yeah. Roll me that.
Sweet.
Nice.
Nice. Alright, so you get two things, right?
Yeah. Well, you give me something, and then I can ask a follow-up question.
Alright, Motorward in the Hero Society. Not very well liked, not well liked at all. Actually, people kind of hate him, like his guts and everything.
And is that mutual or?
Oh hell yeah, it's mutual. He's a belligerent son of a bee, and most heroes that talk crap about him usually back down soon afterwards after they find his hulking ass body looming over him. No one wants to mess with Motorlord. He's one of the big Bronze Age heroes that have, and also one of their powerhouses of the generation that is still around. Hell, he's even got a following.
Well, this could be fun.
He adopted Motorlord after gaining said following. No one remembers his first name because he became a hell of a lot more relevant after he became Motorlord.
Noted.
Can I roll to retroactively use Belong in Two Worlds after I got the new suit? Hello?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Sorry. You wanna... Okay. Cool. Have hold 2. So, yeah.
Alright, so what do you want?
Phew. What is... I think... can I hold it? To reveal it in time?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Alright. Yeah.
You get to put those two things in your pocket.
Yep.
And,
certainly, because it's an older Mark suit, so they have a few more add-ons available for it. At least.
yeah, it was a modular build.
Yeah. You know, so,
You're,
I mean,
it's not. You didn't get to get too many things with it. It did get gimped.
yeah.
If you do pretty well with it, you might get a new encounter suit, or you might be able to get some more modules to enhance this suit.
Mm-hmm.
These were, after all, before you were born, the workhorses of the collective will.
Yep. The old Mark. What is this? Some Mark.
It's a Mark III.
Yo.
Mark 1 was barely enough to, was basically a jump pack and some exoskeleton. Mark 2 and enjoyed the plasma
Fully
cannon.
enclosed. Yeah, the Mark III is the first that was fully enclosed and rated for, you know,
Boarding
hostile
actions.
environments. Yeah, that.
And yeah, just hostile environments, toxicity.
Eh, like
Otherwise, they had to
oxygen.
use auxiliary units to try and fight.
Yep. All right. Sorry,
Anyway,
didn't mean to
enough
derail
about
that.
the collective will and their tactics. We're going to move on. Mr. Johnson kind of leaves ahead of you. He walks, takes a left before you, to the teleporter station, and just kind of like poofs, and he's gone.
Is that supposed to happen? Hello?
These teleporters are entirely safe and well tested, correct?
Sam
That
just
wasn't
goes through. Oh, okay.
There's a guy at your side and says, "Oh no, he always has a a pleasant way of leaving. It's the one perk of his job."
That's so unfair. I can't even put it into words.
You try to manage a freaking in organization that encompasses the world on multiple levels.
I understand. I'm just ready to throw up when I'm done with this stupid teleporter. Let's do this.
You get to what used to be teleporter tubes, and now there's teleporter like platform, and now there's like mail tubes.
God,
Do
why?
we get this? Do we have to go into the mail tubes?
Yeah.
Oh, this is gonna hurt so much. And he just.
Now there's
steps into
actually
the
a little
tube.
capsule.
Is it one person at a time?
One person at a time. Two if you're feeling frisky.
Well, here we go.
Free
Okay.
at the party.
Verification looks at Sam. We should go two at a time to maximize efficiency.
I'm going first. He just kind of fucking. He power walks into the capsule and just hits the button.
Yeah, you get you kind of like limbs get attached to like these kind of braces, and you're just hurtled through the system.
Oh God, why?
Yeah, I also jumped in next.
All right. I guess you guys go one at a time. You get the same treatment.
Channel to Sprawl. It says, you know, I didn't have a choice either.
Yeah, that seems to be going around a lot.
In that, well, I didn't have a choice in this assignment. I didn't have a choice in my sex. I mean, in some way, I didn't have a choice in being born. It's not about, the choices. It's about what we do with them.
I'm trying to deal with our choices were ultimately led to a good end. We stopped a major threat, and they're just letting him get away with it. I'm still dwelling on that.
He didn't get away with it. Well, no, he will never be trusted again by the collective will the Illuminati, and we seem to have taken we seem to have been able to retaliate against his co-conspirators. I think that we achieved something.
Oh, I mean, we stopped his plot, but everything that's happened to us these last few days, weeks, have ultimately been because of him. We stop him from doing whatever his ultimate goal was, and he gets to go back home fully powered, and as long as he doesn't organize villains, he gets to lead a trouble-free life. Yeah,
Is this
that's fair.
not the most efficient outcome? We don't have to bother with supporting him. He can keep being a semi-productive hero.
If he ever was one. That could be an act for who knows what sort of other behavior. You don't just wake up one day, typically, and organize all the villain factions on the planet.
That is curious, but isn't it also outside our need to know?
Oh, I don't care about that. I'm just upset that he's out in the world, free, after everything he did and was trying to do. The collective good would be better served if he weren't out able to do as he wished for the most part. As I see it.
I understand. Verification says. The intent here is to come for support. Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
I for some reason I can't tell when it'll drop in and out, but it won't tell me when it's dropped in and out, so.
Yes, I guess you need to roll, though.
Yeah. No, I was just running that by GM.
All right. Well, after that very heart-to-heart talk, uh, you two each get in your own kind of like capsule. You get shuttled through, and you get placed outside of the office. Um, you know the location. Um, a chess park.
Hmm.
Little quiet space where mostly just elderly people just go to whittle away a bit of their day, get in touch with their friends, that kind of stuff.
Hmm. This seems like a fascinating tactical game. Says verification.
Sprawl just kind of seems to be staring off into space.
Okay, what are we doing here? I didn't expect a guy like our contact person to be in here.
We are providing cover and support to Mr. Johnson while he parleys with an old friend.
Yeah, Jerry looks around a little confused.
Yeah, Sprawl's still just kind of staring off into space.
Sprawl? What is it?
It takes a minute. I was just catching up on my TV. It's been a while. I'm a few weeks behind on my shows.
What have you been watching?
Oh, the Miracle Woman series.
Is it any good?
It's terrible
No.
in all the right ways.
Well, anyway, how do you guys get to the chess park?
Walk
With
there?
our feetsies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we have to. Well, I suppose verification can fly there.
Yep, you got your ship back.
Oh yeah, I guess I got the ship back.
It's also been gimped.
Yay! What did they gimp on this? They took out the ship-to-ship plasma lances, didn't they?
No, actually, they kept that. You just can't modify anything. There's no kind of like.
Trick my ride.
There's no kind of like intertechnic tools between you would use to sometimes run maintenance on it yourself. Looks like you might be bouncing between the office and the consulate for repairs, if any.
You'll never be on this show, Pimp My Ship.
Actually, funny enough, it would be a great time to go on Pimp My Ship and
Yeah, have them do all the
next
maintenance.
to Saturn's moon. They have the famous show airs there, and you would definitely be a good episode. Except you can't fucking leave Earth.
Did they put a limiter on it?
For speed?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, they just put like a you can't leave Earth orbit?
No, you just know you'd be shot out of the sky.
Oh, okay, got it. Wait, what?
Anyways, don't worry about it.
That's for you to find out and me to know.
Got it. Okay.
What they have done is literally you just can't mess with the ship. You can't pull maintenance on it.
And as he's in the ship,
You're stuck on software, the base software, nothing fancy, nothing streamlined. You can't even make shortcuts.
no, my custom eject macros.
All
Hey,
gone.
Sprawl. Hey, Sprawl.
Yeah?
Do you think you can do some custom edits?
I can try. Do you have something in mind?
Can you make it look like this? And then he sends all of his like the custom edits and how they would operate.
I'll give it a go.
Although maybe not while we're flying.
Now
Come down to pad like 42. I'll usually park it there.
Yeah, sure. I'll give it a go later when we get back.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, you guys trot through. You go through and you get near to the park. People, you just kind of pass by. You wave to other heroes who are also on patrol, and you get to the park. You see Mr. Johnson sipping on like from a can of Coke, and there's a hot dog next to him. Same thing with Motor Ward, and there's a humongous ass explosion.
Where?
Well, shoot.
It's a great start.
Where's the explosion in relation to us and them and everything?
It was near to Mr. Johnson, probably from but it's behind the back of Motor Ward.
And
Oh shit!
Okay.
Save the dog! Save the dog!
How can it be? Wait, how can it be behind Motorlord's back and closer to Mr. Johnson?
Well, I meant like closer to Mr. Johnson's position.
it's
Oh,
close to
got
their
it.
table, but behind Motor Ward.
Yes.
Do they react?
Yeah. It kind of like there's a slight ringing in your ears, but it doesn't take you long since you were farther away. Like you see trees knocked down, half the
geez.
park is on fire.
Were we in
People
the
are
ship?
running with like wounds in their arms.
Were we in the
Um,
ship?
hmm?
Was everyone still in the ship?
I thought you were walking there.
Oh, I thought we were taking the ship.
Well, either way, we're on foot now. Hopefully.
Okay,
Well-
yeah.
I would like to know if you took the ship or not.
Yeah, I thought we were flying there.
I think the verification. Yeah, I thought we were flying because that was why we were having the whole discussion
Okay.
of like, why are we?
Well-
Yeah,
Or
we could
can-
have
can
been
it-
there and
can you
gotten out
monitor?
already when this happened, but
Yeah,
I
true.
think that's what happened is that everyone got out or deplaned.
Yep. So people are kind of like getting away with like soot on their faces. Some people are clutching arms. Fathers are clutching like children, and there's a lot of dead birds and burnt bird feed.
okay.
I would
Um,
like to assess the situation, try to figure out where that explosion came from.
Well, we plus superior.
Woo!
Right. What's
Damn,
your
I'm
question
on
you want to
point.
ask?
I want to ask, what here is the biggest threat? And yeah, I guess I want to hear the answer to that first, and then we'll change my other question.
Motor Ward.
Shoot.
Hmm. What here can I use to distract Mortar Lord?
More explosions?
Damn.
I'm not complaining.
I guess just for now, then I'll move in to try to secure Mr. Johnson and separate him from Mortar Lord.
Yeah. All right, and let's get to team counter.
Woo! Excuse me.
Sorry, folks. I'm Here we go with our newfound good old team counters now.
Good old what? Oh.
Oh, they're the little coins.
Yup,
Oh, is that team now?
that's team now. You get coins.
Yay.
So since since there was a leap in time, we're back to 2 team, as per it says in the side moves, I believe. And now we have to go into encounter.
It restores to 1.
Oh, it restores to 1. Okay, well you guys only get 1.
Yay! Thank you.
Anyway, so okay, so you have 2 more from is Bastion still the leader of you guys?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep, so you get 2 from Bastion and Captain. -1 kid. You guys going in with the same purpose?
Sure. Save
Keep-
Mr. Johnson.
Keep people safe.
Yeah.
Save Mr. Johnson.
Yeah, protect him, save people, do the hero thing.
Yep. Hopefully save people. Yeah.
Right.
But like, we're here to protect Mr. Johnson. Naturally.
And
So Sprawl is going to try to help people escape and flee.
All right, yeah. How you doing?
Her eyes start kind of flickering and gauging where everybody is, a lot of people running and everything, and then like little beams kind of shoot out and create hard light projections of first responder type people to try to help people run away if they can't, if they're limping, try to help them or carry like the kid on the ground with no parents, run away type of thing.
All right, so I want you to roll freak. This is gonna be a bit on the harder side.
Yeah, this unleash your powers.
Yep, unleash your powers, man.
Woo!
Right.
Yeah, we're killing it.
Nice.
So it's kind of like firemen, like like they have like all that kind of stereotypical gear on them, except like maybe like, you know what? Actually, Smokey the Bear comes through. Like 15 Smokey the Bears are like manifested.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's scary.
That is.
And they're picking up kids, they're getting people to safety, and for some reason, the only thing they say is, only you can stop forest fires.
Oh my god.
Verification is going to jet over to Mr. Johnson's position, and what he's going to do is I'm going to spend one of those hold to deploy basically a local shield bubble around where Mr. Johnson was, and then look for Mr. Johnson.
All right. Yeah. So you get. There's nothing left. There's like the board's knocked over, the pieces are all over the place, and as soon, can you roll me unleash your powers?
Hey. Where is it? Danger freak. There we go. Ooh.
Yeah.
boy.
So you kind of like set up this kind of like shield bubble and everything, and you see the hexagon bits go up, and you're kind of desperately looking for him. Just as you find him, like he's just getting up now, like he's just like he's kind of like patting the ground and saying mop, mop, mop. And you're like, just before you reach out to help him, you kind of like get this humongous kind of like rebar hammer into your side that just skids you back a
Ooh.
couple ways and over him.
Oh dear.
Can you roll to take a powerful blow?
Can I help defend?
What would you do?
Well, I assume from a little bit, since I'm a bit farther behind since I was only running, I can kind of see what's attacking him, and just aim one of my pistols and shoot the rebar out with a blast of light.
Yeah, sure. Roll me plus savior.
Poof. Sheesh. Thank God for that carry one due to captain.
Yep. Hey. Nice. Okay.
All right. So what are you gonna do?
Well, I'm always about taking the blow for myself rather than making the situation more dangerous for an ally.
Oh my gosh.
All right. So yeah, you shoot the rebar club in the handle, and it's kind of cartoonish, but the guy holding it, this biker dude, kind of like hurls at you as like the rebar kind of like sends him flying as the cement part breaks off, but now he's got like this kind of like broken piece of steel that's coming right at you. Roll to take a powerful blow, Bastion.
Oh man, I forgot about those conditions. I'm gonna regret this, huh?
Oh my gosh, I only have 2.
I have 2 too.
Okay, well.
Oh, and then I did that though.
Oh jeez. This always happens.
It really does. What happens when you fill all your conditions, by the way, as a side question?
You're knocked out.
So would there be a way for Sprawl to try to defend?
It's you can usually defend a person, but you can't defend a defender. Then it kind of gets into this round pool of someone's gonna
Yeah.
eventually succeed, and then nothing ever happens.
I just
Nothing
had to
actually
check.
matters.
Hmm.
You might want to mark 2.
Yeah, just mark
But then
2
you have to-
conditions
You have to give your opponents an opportunity, though.
and give my opponent an opportunity. Yeah, I'll do that.
Or
Oh,
you can
man.
lash out.
God, no, man, that's so not him. I'll fail, insecure, and hopeless. All right, I'm sitting on 1 condition left to take,
Oh,
and I
geez.
give the opponent an opportunity.
All right. Right. So there's more bikers going on the scene to kind of like making like this kind of like weird like shield wall, but it's made out of chain. Kind of like all these like misconstrued weapons. You see like some guys like holding fire in their hands. Like some of them are superhumans. Another guy's just like flicking about like knives. And just before you thought this could get worse, there's has anyone ever read the Tintin comics?
Yes.
No.
Great.
Yeah.
You know when the captain just screams at a person and his like head kind of sticks forward, he's hunched, his face is like red,
Yeah.
like he's literally Bastion. He screams at you of what the hell is happening and what you tried to assassinate him with, and for what did you, and for what you honor his spine, and just keeps going and going, and you kind of shift back a little bit, and then there's some guys actually starting to surround Mr. Johnson now. What is Night Prowler doing?
I think I go for the guys who go for Mr. Johnson.
All right, so you're gonna try and break the ring around Mr. Johnson.
Yeah, I like form like these like big shadow hands and like smash them away.
All right, roll me plus danger.
Alright. Here we go. Nice.
Nice. What 2 options do you choose?
I avoid their
Is this to avoid their blows?
their attack, and I take Mr. Johnson away from them.
All right, yeah. So for the split second, you kind of like you sweep with this kind of like gigantic shadow claw of a hand, and you knock some of them back, and you kind of like use that same hand to shield you from like the response of like gunfire.
Yeah, and
one of the
there's
guys
another
just
hand with
threw-
which I cradle Mr. Johnson.
Yeah, and you kind of like just cradle him for a second, and you can see that. Can someone roll me assist the situation?
Yeah.
Let me. Can I do that? That's the only thing I can actually do anymore that isn't damaged.
Did you do that?
That's my one useful ability right now.
Oh my gosh.
I still got it.
There you go.
All right. I'm gonna allow you to get one answer besides this, but Bastion, as you're kind of like getting like the guy from the rebar with the like rebar is like he went through your side a bit with like this kind of like streak of red and got you like a good chunk with that rebar. You're kind of like standing up and you can see like the civilians are starting to clear thanks to Sprawl, but you guys are starting to get surrounded.
Hmm.
How
And
can we-
Kel's just moving like Mr. Johnson back in his arms, and you can see Mr. Johnson's just finally starting to like get out of like the shock.
Mr. Johnson, everything alright?
It's like, what?
There was an explosion. You have to
Of
come to
course
your
there was
senses.
an explosion.
You have to come to your senses pretty quickly.
I am to my senses.
Yeah, let's just sit him down besides us.
Yeah, well, you don't exactly get to do that, but you're kind of like shuffling him over with like you guys,
Yeah.
like your cross, kind of like holding like the bikers like at a distance. They're kind of getting wary. Sprawl. What are you doing?
So I could hear Moto Ward. That was him, right, screaming about like
Yeah,
us
he's
trying
like
to
just screaming
assassinate
about
him.
like
And,
the betrayal and like they're trying to assassinate him, and
Okay.
he's like something about the man
so
controlling everything. It's really a fucking mess.
So I want to extend my techno senses and access the security footage in the park. I'm sure there's some. There's security everywhere, cameras everywhere. Are there any I can access?
There is some corner cameras, yeah, for the police.
Would there have been anything that would have seen the general area where the explosion was, or?
They're all kind of busted, so you would just have to kind of like quickly download and save it till later.
So I couldn't just review it right now.
You know what? Unleash your powers. Roll me plus freak.
Okay. Well, what I'm trying to do would actually be an assess the situation, though.
Well, okay. So are
So-
you trying to like get questions out of the thing, or are
I'm-
you
I
like
basically
trying to
want to
extend your
use
senses?
If the security footage would have seen where the explosion
The
happened,
where the explosion
and
happened,
then I would
and
ask what here can I use to prove to him that we didn't actually, us or Johnson, had anything to do with the explosion, trying to kill him or anything. Like basically finding the source of what actually did through the security footage.
yeah. So roll me plus superior then.
Whoa.
Right.
Damn,
So
man, we are on point as a team.
Yeah.
all right. So the two questions was what can what here can I use to like persuade him that it wasn't us?
Basically, yeah. And
And
the most thing
The
that makes
second one was what?
the second one would then be, and it'd probably be tied into it, but then how best to end this quickly.
Okay. So I'm answering your first one,
Yeah.
and then you kind of get this telltale situation next. So your first one is the funny fact that Mr. Johnson came alone. Dimitri's back at base. The only superhero with that kind of caliber in the city were kind of like redeployed somewhere else. Like, kind of like in the boonies, in like foreign kind of like deals, or just they simply got the weekend off. So something sniffing off that Mr. Johnson knew maybe something more than you did. And you get this situation, right?
Mhm.
You can
So he
try.
might actually have been involved with it.
No, he's clean of it. He's squeaky clean of it. He's scarily clean of it.
Right,
The fourth book of Paranoia.
right, yeah. Like he's too clean.
Yeah, he's too clean.
Yeah,
But it's not enough to say he did it.
right. It's just
It's
suspicious.
just he isn't. And there's something else on the matter.
Right.
So you shelve that idea quickly, like as a thing to follow up later.
Right.
And to end the situation, you got two avenues to end this. One person's just gonna have to try and calm down Motor Lord and avoid his anger and rage. Or you just get the hell out of there.
Well, since he trusts my father, maybe I should try.
And I was about to try myself just because, well, that's the useful thing I can do right now.
All right, so you're gonna be rolling to you're gonna be rolling to comfort or support.
All right.
Something that not a lot of people do with Modern World for obvious reasons.
All right, let me try.
Let's say one
Oh,
person's gonna be able. Oh
shit.
Jesus!
Ooh.
It's not good.
I was actually gonna go through the avenue of provoking, just because.
Okay, well, you're gonna need to do something with that. But Joey, what do you say?
Yeah, I just like shout, "Yo, water oil, it's me, Joey. Don't you remember? You're friends with my dad," and like drop also the masks. You have to calm down, man.
And he goes, "Calm down. I was almost freaking killed. You ignorant brat." And he basically picks up what's left of a tree that's still on fire and hurls it at you.
Shit.
Mm.
Anyone like to do anything?
Yeah, Sprawl will try to defend.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Roll me plus savior.
Ooh. I can't keep tempting fate.
Jesus.
God damn it! Then I
Oh,
opened
geez.
So
fucking mouth.
I'll explain
Alright.
how Sprawl was going to defend. So
Yep.
Sprawl hadn't actually gotten into costume yet at this point. He was still fighting in the yoga pants and everything, and the costume springs on as kind of a little jetpack type of thing appears or grows out of her back, and just kind of thrusts her forward. And she's gonna, like, as flying to the air, arms pull back, spinning into buzzsaw to try to chop the tree basically down as it goes, or like slice down in the middle of it to try to split it around, but clearly he's gonna miss.
Yeah, so it's like this weird kind of buzzsaw, and he kind of like Motorboy looks up and like in awe for like a second, and you kind of you like meets your eye for like a second, and then you totally miss the freaking tree.
Yeah.
Because despite his absolute anger, he's actually a pretty good-looking man.
Whoa. Wait.
Freudian logic is that no one. I don't approve. Yeah, actually, a lot of people say it, but I don't approve. So that's a private debate for another time.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Oof.
Joey, roll me take a powerful blow.
Can't.
Take a powerful blow. You
Yep.
broke up a little bit. Yeah, alright.
Yep. Roll plus conditions.
Alright, that's
That's good.
That's fantastic.
So-
You're still holding him, and you have like that hand out, and
Yeah.
even though Sprawl misses it, you catch the freaking burning tree, and you kind of like just shove it into the ground between you and Motorlord.
yeah.
And
Yeah, just like shout at him.
But-
Fine, if you don't want to listen to words, then maybe I have to really be like my dad and beat the shit out of you.
Woo!
Whoa, whoa, man.
Welcome to Swam 5000. Bastion, what the fuck do you do?
Sins of the father.
Wait, whoa. Let's all de-escalate here. We don't know what's going on. We wouldn't have done an explosion with civilians nearby. We're all on the same side here, being confused. Let's just put down the weapons and talk this out first.
Alright, you're gonna need a 10 plus on your superior to get this.
Oh man.
I'm like full hit.
Superior or mundane?
Sure did it. Sure
Oh.
did
Yeah.
that.
He kind of just shoots you a hard look, and it just goes, "The man does terrible things to its people all the time. The ghettoization, the endless nuclear conflict. I have to wear tinfoil to bed every night just to make sure I'm not mind controlled." And like you see, like bikers nodding sagely to like this advice.
Verification at this point throughout this has been more or less immobile, just like holding up Mr. Johnson. And at this
Oh
point,
no, as Joey has Mr. Johnson.
Oh, right. So at this point, verification motions to Joey. He says, "I'll take him. 3, 2, 1." And on 1, the ship screams in directly above them, and if Joey hands him Mr. Johnson, verification will basically jet up to the aircraft and with him in hand and do like a hot extraction.
Sure.
Okay.
All right. So I want to say unleash your powers. But you're technically using your Kirby craft, right?
Yes, that's correct. So
So I guess you're plus superior.
I mean, it doesn't matter. They're the same.
Well, whatever. Even better then. Makes me feel bad for not knowing what to do. Okay, so you're a hit. So want marker condition, or do you want me to tell you how it's unstable or temporary?
Tell me how it's unstable or temporary.
All right, so we're going down that route. Yeah, it's very hot. It's extremely hot. You're getting peppered with small arms fires. You see like guys with bikes like kind of like changing them into like this hover bike mode to try and like chase after you.
What the? Oh my gosh.
These are the Hellions, baby. Nothing escapes them.
Oh.
At least that's what they like to say. They also like to call themselves the Fury sometimes, but that's a matter of debate. Anyway, oh yeah,
Oh my goodness.
yeah, it's getting very rough very quickly. Who have we not seen in a while?
Sprawl?
Yeah, Sprawl. You have buzzsaws for hands and a jetpack, and
I'm gonna, if it's okay, retroactively undo the jetpack and just use his electrodynamic magnetism for the flight, because the jetpack doesn't make sense with the powers he has.
oh, that's fine.
Yeah, so he's like kind of magnetoing with flight.
Yep, that's fine.
Or she.
Kind of like
But,
photons and stuff.
Yeah.
Like Gundam 00.
I've never actually.
You ever seen that? Well, they have engines and particles shoot out, and they don't really use propulsion.
Gotcha. So a lot of the bikers are all clustered together, kind of.
Nah, it's like it's like a mob. It's like you ever seen like Viking films, and they're all kind of like
So they're just everywhere.
mob. Yeah.
Okay.
But they're in some kind of like cohesive form, except the hover bike's starting to try and chase after. I mean, trying to like get around verification of Just Force's verification ship.
How many hover bikes, or is it just the one?
There's like all free right now.
So.
Oh, no, that's why I'm phone.
On the comms, Bastion just goes, I think we should run.
Can't you just let this rocket dude go haywire on the city?
At this point, Mr. Johnson just coughs and he's like, and kind of like, so comes out and gets like to like the radio or whatever he thinks it is. He's like speaking into verification's thing. He's just, get out.
Yeah, Joey, you say that, and then you turn and look at Bastion, and there's like a hole in his stomach from a fucking rebar patching him through. He's like, please.
So Sprawl is still in the air. He hears that.
I'd like you, Bastion. I'd like you to roll provoke over Joey with the +1.
I mean, I will do that if I see Bastion being hurt.
Alright, never mind.
Don't worry.
Oh man, lost my opportunity to mark another free potential.
Yeah.
Well, if you want, we can make it more interesting. Maybe Joey's a little bit more torn on that.
You guys must be marking potential like crazy.
He's the power leveler, not me.
You act like it's a technique.
It's a skill, rolling the dice
Well,
just badly enough.
Just to make it more interesting, I guess, then
Alright, sure.
Joey looks conflicted.
Hey, I got a 7.
Right, so what does that lead us?
You get to mark potential if he does it, or he can choose to take -1 if he doesn't do it. So,
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I think I marked the potential because Sam being hurt. That is reason enough to get out of here.
All right. The horn to retreat is sound as bikes kind of like start almost harassing you, and there's actually just regular bikes starting to go around the park.
And verification now that okay, so now that verification and Mr. Johnson are in the ship, verification is actually just gonna like just open the throttles and let me see if I can clear afraid and insecure at once, because not only is he breaking every window within half a mile, but he's also retreating from the scene of battle and trying to outrun the bikes. Hello?
I'm trying to figure it out.
Because in order to clear afraid,
Yeah, at the end of any scene in which you take the corresponding action, clear that condition. Wish to take the course at the end of a scene, clear that condition.
so when like the scene shifts, I guess.
Yeah, so okay, there's gonna be repercussions for breaking a shit ton of windows in a mile, have a mile radius.
Yeah, but the good news is like, he
Yeah,
escapes.
so yeah, you get out with Mr. Johnson. Bastion, Night Prowler, Sprawl, you see, you like blink, and at one point verification shift was there, and after a sonic boom, verifications is gone.
What the fuck?
Oh, I'm like running. I'm scared and I'm pretty much done.
Mr. Johnson is safely extracted.
I think I could just grab Sam and like Spider-Man, like put him under my arm, and the other one I like bend like shadows to like lines to zip myself away from the situation.
Yeah, roll me plus freak.
Yeah, here we go, kids. All right, that's good enough.
So you wanna what are you gonna do? Which option are you gonna pick?
I think I'd mark a condition.
Okay. Yeah, so you're gonna get out of there. You're gonna take the confusion of their situation and be able to get out. Sprawl, what are you doing?
We're seeing everybody leave, and still in the air, Sprawl starts to kind of fly away, but as she is, her arms, she points them down at the park with a mass of bikers and everything, and they start to bulk up and grow and distend, and each arm becomes like a 9-barrel grenade launcher.
Oh my goodness.
And just peppers all over these spheres, like grenade-like spheres, but when they hit, instead of exploding, they release a mist of peakites that they will breathe in, and it will put them to sleep.
All right. Roll me direct re-engage. All right. Which one are you gonna choose?
I guess it'd be like take their wakefulness from them. They go to sleep.
Yeah. So you take their wake. Yeah, they're starting to go to bed, but
I imagine it might not get all of them, but a lot of them to help us get away.
No, you get some of them to like cover your escape, but out of nowhere, you kind of like just see this humongous like kind of like chain with an anchor attached to it, kind of like catch you in the body and try to like, and it catches you like the anchor part of it kind of like catches you in the like across your like body and shoulder, hurtles you to the ground, and you slam there. Roll to take a powerful blow. Right, which one do you choose?
Let's see. Mark 2 conditions. Go with angry. And guilty. Angry because
All
it's
right.
got hit. Guilty because not obviously didn't get everybody to help their friends get away, and
Yeah.
they might get hurt. And
All right. So Sprawl, what are you gonna do? They're starting to like the last few that are awake, including Motor Ward and this one crazy chick with a mohawk, and the guy with knives. They're starting to approach you.
but I have a clear exit.
Not really. You're gonna have to.
Okay.
Yeah, have to do some fancy work.
Okay. So
Your friends got out all right.
yeah. So this is all in an attempt to flee. So this is like happens pretty quick, but as Sprawl like starts to kind of break into a run, all of a sudden her legs just kind of very quickly, it's like it doesn't even look like normal. Like this is just a whirl of nanites. It's not even the normal growing and melding that normally happens. And now Sprawl's lower body is this Akira-like motorcycle. So he's a motorcycle centaur, and her arms at the shoulder joints, like multiple limbs just kind of spring out into like a series of like whips on both arms. They just like start spiraling around in all directions as she just drives ahead, trying to swat away and deflect everything with the arm whips.
I'd like you to roll Unleash Your Powers.
Yep.
Right, yeah. You, your whims kind of like knock away any kind of like half-assed like swings and whatever. They don't catch up to you since they're not on their bikes. And you manage to peel away.
And then once I'm away from them, the arms stop flailing about, and I stay in the centaur form, but I'm not whipping everything around me.
And with this kind of like team separation of Sprawl just going into the city, Bastion and Night Prowler kind of like swinging themselves through, and verification with Mr. Johnson.
Is already like half a continent away. Basically.
Yeah. He's on the other coastline, folks.
Yeah, like the air traffic control is like, wait, you're coming into our airspace, and you're leaving our airspace. See you later.
And you're coming to our airspace, and you're leaving, and you're coming.
And finally, we land on some other city and on top of the veterinary hospital.
You know, I'm not. This isn't. I'm just superhuman, you know that, right? I kind of just mutated.
I wasn't sure.
Hashtag racism.
You know, Terrans just a lot of Terran organisms look alike. You know, it's hard.
Shut up. Shut up.
Hashtag not all dog-headed people.
I want you to take 5 seconds. Think about your career path. And choose your next words carefully. And I think we're going to end the session there, guys.
Cool.
Okay. Yeah.
Bit on the shorter side, but
Yeah, that's fine.
How do you get rid of conditions again?
Do certain things.
We will comfort or support you.
if you look to side moves, and comfort and support is one way.
Does running away get rid of afraid?
Yep.
Yes.
Yup.
Thank God, I've been sitting on afraid for a while.
Also, if you grow close to the team, you can clear a condition.
Yup.
Oh, really?
If you want to do that. And we'll get to end of session moves.
Yes.
So who'd like to go first?
I think I grew closer to the team because even after all the shit that happens, Sam is still on my side, is still my friend. And I kind of proved it by like putting him primarily over like my will to fight. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, I'll buy that. Big potential or clear condition.
They mark potential, and I guess I give once again. I mean, I'm sorry, but that's how it always turns out. That Sam gets my influence.
Yep, and so Sam, if you wanna jangle those old labels.
Danger down, savior up for the exact reason that he just stated, that he chose
Yeah.
protection over fighting.
Yeah.
Awesome. Who's next?
Actually, Sprawl grew into self-image and gonna lower danger and raise savior for the exact reason that Sam explained for Joey.
Right. Yeah, definitely. Kind of like with the hologram, like the Smokey the Bears.
Yep.
I'm sorry, I really wanted to do that
That's
as soon as I
fine.
realized what was happening.
That's fine.
so great.
The natural park was on fire.
This was your moment.
There was the hoop, and I took my shot. Anyway, God damn it, my shitty humor. So yeah, no, that was very cool seeing you on the more protective side. Definitely like the team. I think it's a cool kind of like paradigm shift of moving away from punching until someone's out to saving and trying to deal with what may come. Really like it. Very we're thinking with masks. We're thinking with labels here.
Now you're thinking with labels.
Not that you weren't before, but
verification is
Yep.
going to grow into his own image.
all right.
And,
Explain away.
well, rushing away from everyone on a heat of, superheated fuel. It makes you feel differently. It's like they all just look so small back there, and verification realized, he's got the tools. He's got to use them, and so he's gonna reduce danger and increase superior.
All right. Interesting take.
Yeah.
And that leaves us with Bastion.
I think an interesting choice. He's going to grow closer to the team, but actually choose verification of just force, because in a sea of change, he's stayed relatively the same, which has been important for Sam, who's felt like so much changed so fast. Like, Night Prowler is now this person where he has to worry about whether or not, like, his powers are gonna override. And Sprawl, like, don't even get me started on Sprawl. There's so many new questions. Egg people, gender switching. There's so much, but verification. Good old verification. There was no left field. There was no. He was there, and he was fucking his rock.
Okay. Since Bastion saved verification's butt. Wait, I think I already have. Yeah, I already have influence over you. So since Bastion saved verification's derriere, verification is going to reduce Bastion's freak and increase his savior.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Now, here's the tough question, guys. Do I remove one of my conditions or get that next advancement?
I wonder how this is a question. I wonder if this is even a question, honestly. Like,
Well, how many conditions do you have marked?
I have 3 right now, which is why it's a question.
Right.
remove one.
Oh.
Yeah. I think you're right. I feel enough that I'll get the potential another way. I'm gonna get rid of angry because I'm never gonna actually do something that makes him snap because he's someone who bottles up his anger and lets it destroy him on the inside.
No.
And speaking of people not changing, Bastion being mortally wounded.
Yeah, like one of these times I'm not gonna fucking fail this roll. It's been every combat, except for the last one.
This is just. I think it's a running joke that Bastion just permanently is covered in bandages and scars.
His fucking suit!
Like-
Oh my god, we just bought a new one!
Every time you leave for the day, Shroudhound automatically prepares the healing chamber for when you get back.
Yeah, he knows it's gonna be needed.
Yep.
I was about to say, why do you think Bastion has the healing chamber?
Bro,
A very expensive, very rare healing chamber.
I apparently jinxed myself asking for that to be one of the things I got.
Bro, did you plan the gender swap? Because that was really cool.
Yeah.
In a way, it was.
That was a conversation.
It was. I took the regeneration power from the Newborn's Playbook, and so whenever they're removed from combat from their conditions being filled, it radically changes them. And then I randomly rolled for their presentation and everything. So could have been male, could have been female, could have been neither, could have been both. And so like everything was pretty much left to random chance.
Sprawl's like really good at visually changing. In like really dynamic ways.
Yeah. Well, it helps
Becoming a helicopter, becoming a bigger man, becoming a woman. It just keeps changing.
And now it became a half motorcycle.
Yeah.
as one
Motorcycle
does.
center. Yeah.
Wow, I feel like
And to my end of session, I am going to say I finally found my tarot cards again.
Yay.
Oh boy. Now you can read all their fortunes and laugh as they become very dour.
Everyone knows the
pretty
tower.
much, yeah.
Also, don't think I didn't appreciate your sick burn on Bastion that happened in the Discord chat. I was just
Oh
trying
my
to be professional
God.
and not laugh. Dude, that sick burn.
Well, bye.